Try to use your time as wisely as possible. We appreciate you all coming out. We're going to go over some basic information that I told your freshmen emailing a link. We are now live on Huddle, and so I'll be emailing a link out tomorrow with final forms. So whatever email is up your end, you have there, that's where all my communication will go when you sign up, and that's where this link is in the people that I need to tonight, and we go for other parents too. So if you know someone who's not here, don't worry, you can let them know how to talk tomorrow too. We're going to start by introducing most of our freshman teachers, not all of them. We have a lot that teach multiple subjects, and so they may be up in the rooms with parents who are talking to them right now. So whoever can now is down here.
I'm Mike Minnick, I'm the high school principal.
I'm Jamie Erford, and I teach one section of freshman English. I'm Ashley Milton, and I also have one section of freshman English.
I'm Christy Shepherd, and I have two sections of freshman English. I'm Bridget Hoff, and I have high school Latin.
I'm Mr. O'Rear, and I'm teaching industrial technology 1 and adventures in technology.
I am Jared Reese, and I'll be teaching world history and psychology.
Dan Smith, algebra and accelerated geometry.
Todd Bobbitt, engineering robotics.
We're going to let them go back just in case there's some other sophomores, juniors, and seniors that are going through the meeting teachers so that they can greet them too as well.
Okay, I guess I'm Liz Smith, I'm a school counselor, so I should have started with that. So the first thing I want to talk, I'm just going to go through the paper here, and the first thing I'm going to talk about is how to stay up to date with your students' grades. Definitely use Progress Book. So if you don't know your Progress Book login, or you need help with that, you can get a hold of the high school office. Megan Morris is the high school secretary, and she can help you reset a password, get a key to log in if you've never set up an account for whatever reason. So super important that you can see that. One of the things I talk to students about is understanding the importance of their grades. In high school, everything counts. So I'm going to talk about the credits that they need for graduation in a little bit, but they need to understand that when their classes are in, they have to pass them in order to keep moving forward and graduate on time and not also end up in summer school, because that's the only option if they don't pass the classes. The other thing is, having a kid myself, I also understand this, but the communication between what happens at school and what gets to you does not somehow magically improve when they get to high school, and we understand that. So usually Mr. Minnick gives announcements, sometimes it's me. Everything that is read to your student comes directly from our high school website. So if you want to know what's going on in the school, go to our high school website, look at the announcements page, and there it is. So there's no, like, what am I supposed to do? So check it maybe once a week. That would be fine. I have my own website, or link on the high school website as well, our school counselor. I have a lot of resources on there. If you're like FAFSA, a lot of this is for older students, but I have college visit sign-ups and lots of different information. ACT stuff, PSAT, that's all there. None of that is relevant to your freshman right now, okay? But I do have a link there. The other thing I want to talk about is the importance of being involved. When you get into high school, it's really important. Some of you probably noticed as you talk to your friends that you're in classes that some of you will have with other like sophomores, juniors, seniors. You're going to meet people outside of your grade, which is different than something you've done up to this point. And it's really important to explore what you're interested in. So get involved in, and I know some of you, you're in your sports and things like that, but there's other clubs and organizations you can be a part of. Volunteering is really important. It looks good in the future for colleges, it looks good on job applications. It is also one of the ways you can earn a seal to graduate from high school by reporting 25 hours towards volunteering. I have a form on the high school website that you print off and you have a non-family member sign volunteering was, the kids turned it back into me, and then they did it. We do have National Honor Society. They can apply for that in their sophomore year. If they don't get into that, their sophomore year, they can reapply their junior year. One of the biggest things in getting them that, and it's where some of our really high achieving students struggle, is that they don't have leadership, like anything to report. Maybe they haven't been the captain of the team or led in anything that they've done. So finding a way to be a leader in something will help you with your National Honor Society application. You'll be a pause for a minute. Okay. The arts programs, and I know a lot of you are sitting in front of me. I've been to choir concerts, I've been to orchestra, I've been to bands, so you know that we have a great arts program. Also, our teacher, Mrs. Barman, she has the most props of any teacher we have. She's teaching multiple classes during the same period just because she knows that our students love art, and she's really passionate about it too, so getting involved in that. You all can be student helpers. I know that in the middle school they are asking that there be no freshmen, and I think that makes sense, right? You guys just love them over there. So if you want to be a student helper, you can look, if you know an elementary teacher that you want to help, you can do a permit pass during your study hall and be a helper. Class officers, that's a great way to get involved. Do we have our freshmen, any freshman class officers here today? Okay. So that's a great way to show leadership for that National Honor Society, getting involved and helping be a class leader. They're involved with homecoming, and they do some stuff like prom down the road, graduation, things like that. As far as our clubs go, we have academic team, art club, we have building club, which is with Mr. Rear, game club, which is actually now esports, so I should have updated that, that's my fault. But National Honor Society, which I already mentioned, Latin club, math league, Spanish club, student senate, we do have SOS tutoring for the elementary, which is a paid position. Mr. Renee can tell the announcements that he's looking for people, and then you can apply to do that. There's Pirates and Pirate, which is with Mrs. Ackerman, where they do reading to elementary and help struggling graders. Positive Vibe Club, and there's the Volunteer Club. I'm going to kick it over to Mr. Minnick. I know all of you that were at the fall sports meeting heard about athletic eligibility. You've also heard it from me when I came to talk to you in the spring. We're going to hear it again when we talk to you on Monday, first day of school, but it never hurts to understand what it takes to be eligible.
Again, welcome everyone. I'm excited to have this class come in. I've heard a lot of great things about this class, and I don't hear that every year when 8th graders come up to be 9th graders. So it was great to hear from a number of your teachers on how good this class was. So excited to have you. I think you're going to have a good time in high school. It's going to be a little bit different experience. You start doing a little bit more on your own than what you have been before. So that, you're going to start going to be more of an adult now. So there are going to be some things where, we're going to guide you through, but some things we're going to want you to try to do on your own too, because after you get done with us, you will be on your own in that case too as well, because even those of you that go to college, professors will not talk to you like the parents. Like a parent calls up a college professor, too bad. When your kid's already 18, we will not talk to you. So we want to try to get you to program with everything like that too as well. I think one of the things that helps us to really mature everything is athletics. We have a plethora of students that are involved in all types of things, whether it's athletics, band, everything else like that. But if you want to be in athletics, this would include game club, because Mr. Rack still abides by those same things that we do with that. You have to just pass 5 classes, 5 full credit classes. The only class that is not considered a full credit class is physical education, because that's only a quarter credit per semester. So all your other classes counts 5 classes. If you have physical education, that will not count as well. Okay? Everything else does count. So you have to pass those 5 classes. You you cannot fail more than one class. So if you fail 2 classes and still pass 5, you will be ineligible the next quarter. Okay? And you have to have a 1.0 GPA, which is not extremely high, but I've had it before where someone's passed 5, failed 1, and had below 1 GPA. Okay? So most of us don't have to worry about that a whole lot because you guys do such a great job in the classroom, and hopefully you guys get off to a good start. But we want to make sure that you're doing that. And for eligibility, it goes by quarter. It doesn't go by week or anything like that. So to be eligible in the winter, the second quarter, it's your grades for the first quarter affect the second quarter. Your grades the second quarter affect the third quarter, so on and so forth. Okay? Any questions with that? One other thing, I know you talked about announcements, and I know I'll say remember announcements in the morning, and I know many students will ignore me when I'm making announcements, so I put most of those things on the televisions too. They usually don't read the television up the second hallway, but during lunch, I have 2 televisions in there telling them all these things with all the different things that I probably put on announcements. So they got multiple ways that they should be getting information. It's just when they get more like this, they don't usually go home and tell you what's going on as parents, because you'll ask them how's your day, and they'll be like, fine, I won't talk to you. Right? So if you as a parent want to know, just go on the website like this said, and look under the announcement page. Right? Thanks.
Okay, so graduation requirements, this changed 2 years ago, and so if you have had a student graduate, but it wasn't in the last 2 years, I might overwhelm you just a little. And so what I do want to say to you is that please know that I have a minor and I am tracking this for your child. I'm only giving it to you so you see it. And so that you kind of, if you're one of those parents that does like to kind of plan and write it down to you have it and you can always ask me, hey Liz, can I see where my kids at this time? The one thing I will say as we're going through this, I cannot give you a good idea of where they're at on this plan until after their sophomore year. I will sit down with every junior this fall and senior, and I'll go through their sheets with them. And the reason is because it's very heavily dependent on state tests, and this year, there's a handful of them that have taken algebra, so they took that algebra test in 8th grade. So those kids now will take the geometry test this spring. The rest of them will take the algebra test this spring. That's the only test they'll have. The big year for state testing is their sophomore year, and that they'll take their biology test, they'll take their ELA 2 test, they'll take their American history test, and if they have another math test, so the ones that took algebra will take that geometry. Okay? Their junior year, they'll take their government test, so that one kind of hangs out there, and that's why it's important for me to get back to the seniors right away too, so I know where they're at. Okay? Because those test scores come in at the end of May, I can tell them what their scores are, but they're probably not really thinking like there's this study here because they're ready for to be out for some grade. But just know that I'm helping them with this. If you ever have any questions, please call me, email me, whatever's easiest for you, okay? So we're going to flip to the second page that says graduation. I try to make this as easy as possible, like the way my brain works, like break it up into 3 boxes, okay? So we're all used to box number 1. We're working towards our 21 credits that we need for graduation. So this is where I'm telling the students it's really important to pass all 4 of your English, your 4 social studies, your 4 math, your 3 years of science, your half credit of health, your half credit of phys ed, and then 5 elective credits. I always get students, and it's usually my ones that are like looking at those 7 credits, and then they're straight A students. Okay, so if I'm asking you really smart ones, you're all really smart. What is 7 credits times 4? 28. So I'm going to say that one. It's okay. It's okay. All right. So the point I'm making is, you guys, you only need 21 to graduate. Most of you are going to be well over that. Unless you're failing a core class, you're not at risk. You're not graduating. Okay. So that's box number 1. Box number 2 places a ton of importance on that algebra score and that ELA 2 score. So the state of Ohio says you have to get a 684 on algebra 1 and ELA 2. If you don't, you're gonna take it a second time. If after that second time, you still haven't got the score, then we have to move to the rest of it. So this is where it gets tricky. You can earn a college credit plus credit in either math or English, whichever one you didn't pass. And I know I have another fellow high school counselor here, so she's like, I already know where I'm going with this. You guys do have to have a certain GPA in order to get the college credit classes. So I just need to be very honest with you. If you can't pass that algebra test or the ELA test, you're not eligible to take CCD. So it's there, but it's not even an option. The state put this in there, and I just want to be real with you, okay? The other thing you can do is you can sign up and enlist in the military and provide your school with a military contract. The third option is you can do career tech, which is Apollo, and earn a 12-point credential, and then also either do Ohio Jobs Readiness, SEAL Workforce Readiness, or 250 work hours in your subject. Now, the only hard part for us is we don't have a ton of students who get in this boat, just to calm your fears a little bit, all right? But you can look at it and see what your student has in that algebra. If it's not a 684, we're going to retest it, okay? So, if a student has taken the test in their sophomore year, we don't get this stuff back till the end of May. They've already missed the opportunity to apply for college. So then we have another program that we use called Rise Up that allows us to put the student in their 12-point credential and still be on track to graduate. So that's our other option, okay? And that's the route we use with our students. Any questions on that part? Okay. So box number 3, State of Ohio says you need 2 skills additional to graduate, okay? First box on the left is state defined, box on the right is Lumpkin High School defined. So honors diploma, and I'll go over the requirements for that next. College readiness, your students, it's optional. It's going to be optional for them, so we'll see what that looks like. But if they take the ACT in the past, every student has been required their junior year to take it. If they get an English score of an 18, reading of a 22, math of a 22, they get that seal. Their U.S. history score and their government score, they get 2 different sets of scores. One ranges from like the 600s up to the 800s, and then the other one ranges from a 1 to a 5 with each test they take. So this one, if they get a 3 or higher on both of those, they get that seal. When they take their biology test, if they get a 3 or higher on that, they get that one. Industry credential, that says they're going to Apollo. Military enlistment, if they do that. Company's jobs, that's an employability thing. So it's just a paper where myself, Mr. Minnick, and a community person or employer says whether or not your students show skills that make them employable. And then technologies, see all any of our students that take robotics or engineering with Mr. Bob qualify for the State of Ohio Technology Seal. Community service, I mentioned that 25 hours, so if your students do 25 hours of community service, check that box. Fine and performing arts, and all the categories are on the back too for the local ones. So if they're in any of our fine arts classes, they complete that and that. So that would be require your reading and your art class, okay? And then student engagement. If they are in a combination of sport and then a club or organization, 2 of them, they've got that one, okay? So, like I said, I sit down and I go through this with the state test scores at the end of the sophomore year and create one of these for every one of your kids. I'm sure we have lots of questions on this. But
basically, with all this, you need to take the classes you need to take every lesson. And you'll take a test, and if you are deficient in any of the tests or classes, we'll be talking to your kids. So as parents, we gave you the overview what it's going to be, but you do not have to know everything on this. So we'll be talking to your kids constantly, directing them in the right place, because we want everyone in here to graduate. Okay, so if they need to retake a test, we'll be talking to them. They need to take another, they're doing scheduling, and they don't schedule an English class. So we need 4 years of English. We'll be talking to them that, hey, we need to schedule an English class. We think, okay, So you don't need to worry that you have to know everything with that. But that's what it all entails. It got much more complicated than it used to be.
Yes, a lot more. Okay, so future planning, so the page right after that is academic honors. This also changed with the actual last August that's come out for the next graduating classes. This affects our juniors have the option to do the old way or the new way, but then the sophomores and our freshmen, this is their way to get an honors diploma. So math, the one isn't how many, it's just 8. You see the 1 through 8 on the far left of that, that's just the count, like numbering them off. So math, you have to have at least 4, which we need to graduate the state will have anyway, but the 4th one has to be out for 2 or higher. Science, physical science, biology, and chemistry, and they're going to be done as far as the state of Ohio says for graduation. If you want an honors diploma, then you need to either take anatomy, physics, or organic chemistry. You have to take at least one of those. All right, so then social studies, they need 3 in the state of Ohio to graduate. They need 4 to get an honors diploma. World language, a lot of your students I know are taking languages, but to get an honors diploma, you need to take 3 years of one language or 2 years of 2 different. GPA needs to be a 3.5 on a 4.0 scale, ACT of a 27 or higher. Remember I said when I stood over the graduation, they need 2 students to graduate in order to get an honors diploma. They're going to need 4 skills total. Okay? Experiential learning. I guess I'll just kind of jump ahead a little bit. We already do that. And every one of your students will do this and it will count. We require our juniors to go out and do job shadows for the day of job shadowing. They get to do that. And then they have to do a culminating project with it, which they'll present on the Monday and Tuesday before Thanksgiving. And they have to look up their future career, what type of training they have to do, how much it costs to do that training, where they can go for that, when they get out of school. It's like a whole real world project. When they get out of school, what does it look like? What is their job availability going to look like? And they present those 2 different panels of teachers that they present to. Okay? So that is the honors diploma. Let's look at that. Planning, again, Apollo Career Center. So if your student is possibly interested, you know they really like hands-on, interested in going into all of the, there's a ton of different awesome programs at Apollo. A representative will come from Apollo to talk to our sophomore English classes, and then they will be able to sign up to go and tour the facility in January, and then on that date, they can start applying for the program application and they like it. College visits, they get 2 their junior year and 1 their senior year. I always recommend to students when I talk to them in the classrooms. I know that's not a lot, so try to go vacation or something if you can squeeze one in along